Welcome to The Kingdom Sleeps, the fantasy bedtime story decided by the roll of a dice. My name's Andrew, I'll be your story master for this evening.
And I'm Orla, and I'll be playing the role of Nina.
Once again, we will be joining Nina in her adventures in Lark's Grove. Today's art has been produced by Kotaraya Rizuet. Apologies if I've mispronounced that. Thank you very much for your wonderful art for this episode today. If you have been enjoying the show so far, you can help support by joining our Patreon. We also have some bonus material recorded of a conversation between Nina and Steph just after the events of episode 4, where they discuss her grandmother in some more detail. So if you'd like to listen to that, you can find a link to our Patreon down below. And if you're already a supporter over on Patreon, we want to say thank you so much. We honestly couldn't do it without you. But without further ado, close your eyes, make yourselves comfortable, and join us where the kingdom sleeps. Nina, after the chaotic and unexpected events of this afternoon's harvest, Steph, in the midst of trying to remedy the somewhat callous actions you had taken, has asked you to take yourself upstairs to the kitchen of the treehouse and wait for him to return, so that you may discuss exactly what has happened. As you sit here on the kitchen table, this kitchen, this tree house, has never felt so quiet. What is going through your mind right now as you wait for Steph to return?
What have I done? My head is folded into my arms, resting on the cool wood of the table. I focus on taking deep breaths. Shoot. Could I have been so stupid? What do I do now? I look for Kota. Is he near?
Roll me an investigation check, please.
9.
Kota's nowhere to be seen. He's not in the kitchen, at least. And in amongst the distant mumbling and infrequent yelps from outside and the rest of the harvesters as they are being wrangled by Steph, you can't quite hear any of his twitching or squeaking nearby. As such, you are entirely alone in this very empty feeling kitchen.
Her hand flexes instinctively as if to run it through Kota's soft fur and feeling his absence. I haven't felt this alone in a long time. I talk out loud to myself, as if I would talk to Kota. If we tell him, we have to tell him everything. About the glade and going off the path and the ring. God. And he's been so stressed. Could make him sick. So selfish. I get up and pace the floor of the kitchen. On the other hand, if I don't tell him, what could I say? Well, that I don't know how this magic came from me. God. It's not stupid. I could say I found the ring. I could say that Coda found it on the path. Or I was with the cloak. I go to the window. Can I see anything happening below?
As you approach the window, you can just see as the whole crew of harvesters are funneling out from one of the gullies and heading back towards their barn, their quarters, where they're staying for the next 2 weeks. Steph is nowhere to be seen. But just at that moment, you hear the familiar clunk and cranking of the chain as the treehouse elevator makes its way to the top platform. Clunk. And you can hear those slow, hollow footsteps along the wood as they approach to the kitchen.
Completely unsure what I'm going to do, I slip off the ring, just leaving it in my pocket. We'll see how he is. If he's angry, then maybe we can just apologize. And I look beside me, remembering that Coda's not here. Oh, God. I take a deep breath and turn as Steph comes up the elevator.
Just as you turn, Steph rounds that corner through the entrance of the kitchen and stands there in the archway. At first, his eyes look to the ground, not to you. And as he begins to speak and very slowly walk towards the kitchen table and sit himself down, pulling back a chair, his eyes continue to look to the floor and away from you.
I'm so sorry.
It's quite lucky for you, Nina, that young man has gotten away with a sprained ankle.
Is he okay?
He seems fine. We've taken him to the barracks. I've given the rest of the workers the afternoon off. We were very nearly done anyway. They're just finishing off the rest of the bloatberries, and we'll take it off until dinner later.
I can help. Will I go and help?
Perhaps you could. Yes, you could, in a moment, perhaps bring him some ointments. He seems fine. He's happy to continue after a night's rest, but we should look after him as well we can.
Immediately I start rummaging in the cupboards, half trying to distract from the conversation.
As you enter the cupboards, rifling with a little bit of panic, Steph raises his hand, still looking to the floor, and says across to you, Nina, Sit, please.
Reluctantly, she moves to the table, pulling out a chair. Head still down, reluctant to meet Steph's eyes.
Luckily for you, the crew is abuzz with the extraordinary sight of the unusual Mamu that came out of nowhere and knocked that young man down to the ground. And so, at least for now, it seems, people are unaware. And with a quivering lip and glistening eyes, Steph, for the first time since he enters the room, looks up and looks you directly in the face. Nina, where did you find that ring?
I am... Kota... I went off the path. I went off the path more than once, and... Well, first I was just chasing Kota, and... There's this glade by the...
You went into the depths, truly into the Whispering Forest.
Well, no, it's right off the path, and Kota ran in there, so I had to go and get him back. And it's safe. It's magical.
I know very well how safe that forest is, Nina. Even after I expressly told you several times not to go there.
But I had to get Kota back, and it's filled with Mamu. It's the most beautiful place I've ever seen.
Nina, you must be honest with me now. I need you. It is imperative that you are honest with me in this moment. That cloak that you found, did you find it within the forest?
Yeah, yes. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to lie, but...
No. I just need you to be honest. Where did you find the ring?
In the glade.
How?
Like I said, I went after Kota, and through the bushes, and there was a glade filled with Mamu, and a shrine. And at first I was just lying in the glade. Well, it wasn't the first time I'd been there. I'd been there before. But every time Kota showed me where it was. And, well, the second or third time I brought an offering, like you showed me. And I put it in the shrine. And then magic happened. And the ring, it was like I gave an offering and it gave an offering back. And that's when the cloak came as well. And I shouldn't have taken it, but I thought maybe it would be disrespectful not to. It felt safe. I'm pretty sorry that I lied, and that and that I didn't listen to you. I thought maybe I could find something that was helpful to you, or I don't know what I was thinking.
Steph looks into your eyes with a penetrating stare. Roll me an insight for this moment, please.
10.
Something that you once were to your grandfather, something that he believes you to be, you've seen in this moment, he no longer thinks you are. You don't know what that is, but an idea about you has been removed from his mind. I don't know what to think, Nina, and I need some time now to think. And so I am going to spend the rest of the afternoon and some of the evening in my workshop, and I wish not to be disturbed. I would be very grateful if you would take care of supper for the hands. I will join you for supper later. And then perhaps this evening we can talk about this again. Yes?
Okay. I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry, Nina. You've done what you've done. I'm sure you had your reasons for lying to me. Perhaps that is my fault. Nina, can I please have the ring?
Put my hand in my pocket and pull out the ring. Almost afraid of it. I put it in front of Steph and turn my back on him.
You can hear from behind you as he very gently picks up this ring from the table where you put it in front of him. It just scrapes against the wood. Although you're not looking at him, you can feel him pause there in that moment before stepping away, walking backwards over towards his workshop. The door opens and closes, and he is gone.
I think as soon as the door clicks shut, the tears are streaming down my cheeks, bogging my glasses. Kota? Do I hear him?
Roll me a perception, please. On a 16, you just about hear this really soft wheezing coming from outside the window, just directly outside the window that looks down onto the orchard from the kitchen. And if you were to look out the window, just poke your head to the branches that are just adjacent to it, you will see Kota lying almost in a hammock-like position on one of these branches with a huge round belly, almost unable to move and panting from his day's gorging on this cheese that had scattered itself across the base of the tree.
Seeing him gorged, I go to the window. Kota, come here.
Kota very gently lifts his head up, still panting, just wheezing and very, very slightly squeaking as he does, and he just about tries to labour his paws forwards and manages to just get about as close to the windowsill as to be directly underneath it, but then slumps back down in fatigue.
What have you done? That wasn't for you, that cheese was for everyone.
He promptly falls asleep as soon as you say this. Although he is now at this point in reaching distance if you did want to grab him.
No, I think I'll leave him there. I hope you fall from that tree. And I go to the elevator and go down to get some food for supper. As I go move around the orchard, I swing between frustration at myself, being so stupid, and just deeply embarrassed every person I pass. Everyone who I had hoped to get to know. Just sees how ridiculous I've been.
And as you wander around collecting things for supper, it's very few sparse people you do encounter, as it's just those last stragglers who have agreed to finish off those last few bits that needed doing. Steph having given them the afternoon off. Some of them look to you with concerned faces as they pass, head back to the barn where the rest of the crew sit leisurely until supper. What would Nina have procured from the orchard for everyone to feast on this evening?
I think there's still a lot of sun pears to be eaten. And you would also go and gather some of the wood peas that would probably be in abundance this time of year. She does so almost absent-mindedly, keeping her head down.
Well, in this very sombre state, Nina picks through what she feels is in abundance at the moment and might sustain a hungry workforce best she can. Roll me a quick performance check just to ascertain the harvest.
That is 13.
On a 13, there is certainly an abundance of food that she's managed to pick. It's perhaps not the best, the ripest, the most pristine of the crop, but it's a lot of sustenance. And Nina is very familiar with the crops of this orchard, knows exactly what to do with these things to make them look and taste fantastic for an evening's meal. Once she's collected her harvest, does she begin to prepare supper, or does she have any other plans for what remains of the afternoon?
Just wanting to be alone, I make food, and perhaps as it's cooking, as the stew is boiling, I go for a walk, not leaving the orchard, but just seeking some time on my own.
So, popping the stew onto the stove, letting it bubble away, Nina takes the journey down the elevator to stew herself a little in the orchard, wandering up and down around the well-trodden, familiar paths of this labyrinthian orchard, thinking to herself. And as she paces, it's not long before she makes her way to the far back corner where the tallest trees lie that sit just outside the border of the orchard itself. The non-fruit-bearing trees, but the tall and majestic trees nonetheless. And sat down with a hunched back in amongst the roots one of these tall trees sits Bellamy, with his head looking to the ground, and he's ripping up clumps of grass in front of him and rolling them between his fingers before discarding them and ripping up another clump, and almost in a meditative fashion.
Oh, hey. Sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you.
Bellamy is almost shocked awake from your voice that he hears in front of him as he dusts off his green, slightly sticky fingers. Oh, hi, Nina. Are you, how are you?
I've been better. I'm sorry I threw that bread at you earlier, and the cheese, that was...
No, it's okay.
That's not, yeah, but...
No, that
wasn't nice.
That was fine. It was, everyone loved it.
Kota loved it. I think that's about the extent of it.
Yeah, I saw him eating that cheese. He was really... I think he threw up once, but then he threw up and then he started eating more cheese, which was concerning. Maybe I should have stopped him, sorry.
I mean, maybe I should have stopped him, but... Did you get food in the end?
Yeah, I had a little. Yeah. I'm not too hungry though. I'm okay.
You're not with the others?
Oh no, I'll be here for supper. I think I'll stay. Yeah, and then I'll head home for the night. I'll come back tomorrow. Yeah.
Not staying overnight?
No.
I could get you a hammock if you wanted to.
It's okay. It's not far to my house from here, and I got like a bed. So,
I suppose.
Yeah.
Some people prefer beds.
But no, the rest of the crew are kind of just I don't know. I think they're playing cards or something. I didn't really know the game, and so I thought I wanted to just sit here, and I thought maybe I would see you again.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was getting in trouble, so.
Oh, what happened?
Oh well, you know what happened with the bloatberries and the net and.
Yeah, and that crazy Mamu that came and knocked him off. That was really. I'd never seen a Mamu like that before.
Yeah.
It was all kinds of different colors. Have you ever seen anything like that before?
I slumped down on the ground next to Bellamy, my head in my hands. Promise you're not going to tell the others this.
I don't tell the others very much at all.
That wasn't a Mamu. That was my fault.
What do you mean?
Well, no more lies. Well, I found this ring. It's a long story, but I found this ring, and it has, I guess, some sort of magic or something. And, well, I was just keeping it safe because it wasn't really my ring, but. And then I put it on. We were going to get the supplies, and then I did find the crimpers in the end, and I was running to give them to Opa, but I had the ring on, and well, something happened. Some magic came out of it, and yeah.
Roll me an insight for Bellamy.
Uh, 19.
He thinks you're nuts. He's got a very densely furrowed brow. You've found a magic ring.
Yeah, I know it sounds crazy.
Where is the magic ring?
Well, Opa took it.
Did your grandfather tell you it was magic?
Well, no, but you saw the big hand thing.
I mean, it was kind of weird, but it did sort of still look like a Mamu.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It was probably just a Mamu. Don't worry about it, Bellamy.
Well, hey, I'm sorry you got in trouble. I'm sorry,
It's my own fault. It was lies. I was telling lies, and I knew I shouldn't have lied to Opa, but
why did you?
I don't know. It's like he's got so many secrets, so many things that he keeps to himself, and
it's hard to be really honest with someone if they're not always honest with you.
Yeah, I guess. And I just wanted something that was my secret, or yeah, maybe I wanted to help out in some ways. I'm trying to figure out some mysteries, and God, it was just so stupid.
That doesn't sound stupid to me. I think that makes sense.
Bit crazy, though.
Well, the magic ring thing just, it sounds crazy. I'm not sure I understand.
Sometimes I'm not sure I understand. Steph says so much stuff, and you think this much must be crazy. But then it's true. It's like the things that happen, the things that have been happening, I don't know. Seems magic to me.
Yeah, maybe.
If I ever get the ring back, I'll show you. How about that?
Oh, yeah. I guess I'd like to see a magic ring. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. Except for the nearly killing someone part.
Yeah.
How about you? You got any secrets?
Oh. I guess...
Don't have to tell me.
Oh, I don't even know. I don't think I do. From my dad, maybe.
Go on, give us a secret.
I don't know. He just kind of, wants me to do stuff his way all the time.
Tell me about it.
And I don't want to. I want to do it my way.
Like what?
Well, he wants me to run the post office. When I'm educated. But I don't want to do that. It's boring in there.
Yeah, it's pretty boring.
I could do it. I know I could do it. Know everything about it. But I think I want to do something with plants.
Oh yeah? Like what?
Like discover new ones. I never really thought about it until I worked here today, to be honest. But this orchard's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
All kinds of stuff going on. I was thinking I'd maybe ask Steph about it, but then I thought I might get a bit nervous, so I thought I might ask you to ask Steph about it at some point.
Yeah, if he ever talks to me again after today.
Oh, it can't be that bad.
I don't know, I think it was pretty bad. I've never seen him, I don't know, Bellamy, the way he looked at me. He knows that, yeah, doesn't matter.
Well, I think even if he's disappointed in you, he's gonna still love you. Not gonna stop talking to you.
Well, time will tell, I guess. Oh, are you gonna tell your dad?
I don't know, I never thought that far. I guess I think I'd just imagine that I was gonna do something different and then end up not doing anything different and then just run the post office.
I think you should do what your heart tells you to do.
Maybe.
Even if you're disappointing people. I feel like I've been disappointing people my whole life.
I don't see how you could disappoint anyone, Nina. You're kind to everyone.
Yeah, but not very smart about it.
Yeah. Being smart is overrated.
I don't know about that. Anyway, your secret's safe with me. And I offer him my hand.
Well,
First I spit on it.
he's somewhat used to this behaviour. And although he slightly grimaces at this, he does reach out to shake your hand.
You gotta spit too, Bellamy.
Really?
That's how it gets sealed.
Looks at his hand and sort of doesn't actually have much saliva to do the spitting, but he kind of makes a pathetic splashed effort against his hand and reaches out. Thanks. And, I ain't telling nobody what you told me. Don't worry about that.
Friends keep secrets.
Yeah, friends keep secrets. So what are you doing now?
Just going to make dinner. You want help?
Okay.
Okay.
I can't cook. I've never cooked anything.
Well, I can, so I'll show you.
Great.
I'm gonna make some bread.
Whoa.
For the stew.
Okay. Sounds good.
Cool. This way.
And he trails behind you as you lead him back to the treehouse kitchen. In Nina's estimation, how long does she think it would take to get together the rest of the stew, bake some bread, and have enough of a hearty meal ready for the workers?
Cooking for 20 plus people, it's going to take the best part of 2-3 hours to bake bread and to get the meal ready at the table.
And earlier that day, the workforce ate outside. Are you setting the table outside? Where are you laying out the festivities for the evening, and how do you do it?
The meal is situated in between the trees outside. There are low twinkling candles that hang from the branches and run up the middle of the table. They don't usually eat out here, Nina and Steph. They normally eat inside, but during the harvest time when there's so many people, they normally feast right in the orchard. Steph thinks that's best for the trees, for the community with the plants. And it's also very practical.
Well, as Nina sets up this eating place in the midst of the orchard, in this almost perfect opening space where there's just enough room to lay out this long table for a dozen or so people, she lays out the tablecloths and hangs the candles that begin to twinkle in this dusk that is falling over the orchard. The sight is beautiful. It's an enchanting area to come upon. And as the hands start to get hungry and wander away from the barn, their eyes are caught by this softly glowing little jewel at the heart of the orchard, and they trail down the gunnels to find this display. You see that they almost naturally begin to congregate around it and sit down on the sawn off logs that are the seats that scatter themselves around the table that you've laid out. And so, as you finish up preparing the evening supper with Bellamy, you bring down these large trays containing the stew and the bread. You can see that a lot of the people are already sat, happily chatting, waiting for their food to arrive. You can see some have instruments they've brought with them. Someone has a flute, another a fiddle-esque instrument. Someone is banging on what looks like a 3-drummed bongo, as if they happen to be tuning up and sort of jamming with each other, trying to find a little bit of a rhythm just before dinner, perhaps alluding to some music they'd like to play later on. And there is a raucous cheer as you come down, Bellamy trailing behind with all of this food and lay it down, and there plenty of people are almost immediately grabbing for the plates and chucking it down, raising their hands. Thanks Nina, appreciate you. People chatting away, this looks good. Oh, can you smell that? Oh, it's beautiful. And everyone begins to enjoy themselves thoroughly, and you're now free, having brought the food down, to enjoy the food with them?
I think as people take bread and food from Nina, she's telling everyone she can that this is made by Bellamy, and telling people to make sure to thank Bellamy for the food.
As you're sort of like spraying this out to whoever will listen, so people are catching on a little bit, and those who are particularly enjoying the bread or a mouthful of stew, give him a big slap on the back, and he sort of jolts forward. Oh, good job, mate. This is good stuff. He's like, thanks. As you look around the table, you've noticed at this point, Steph has not yet joined. So as such, you are hosting the table, but also at the same time you are one of the hands. You are here, and this is a social time. Is there anybody you're looking out for on the table? Anything you'd like to say to the table, or anyone in particular you'd like to speak to as you're sat here eating dinner?
Normally it's Steph that brings out the flasks of cider and cheerses to the table. It's not quite a prayer, but a poem of sorts he normally shares with the group, and before people even start eating. And she is worried that this slightly ceremonious ritual hasn't happened, and I glance towards the kegs of cider. Whereabouts is Kota?
Kota, at this time, roll me an investigation check, please.
$20. Not natural.
With a 20, I think probably ever since you brought down the food, you've had a sharp eye on Kota, and he's been with you in the kitchen the entire time. He follows the food, so he trailed behind you as you brought the trays in. He did attempt to jump on the table at one point when you first laid the food down. But of course, you made it clear to him that was not going to fly this evening. As such, he's been pacing around the table, stopping, looking up, seeing who is basically foolish enough to begin to give him food, who he can coax with his cuteness to get any morsel he can.
How are you still hungry? You were sick not 2 hours ago.
He, now looking fairly sprightly, just looks into your eyes, squeaking gently, as if completely unaware of what it is you're talking about.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. And I scratch behind his ears. And I'm also glad that you didn't fall out of the tree. And I'm sorry for saying that you should have fallen out of the tree. Have you seen Opa?
As you ask this question, he's in the midst of licking your fingers, trying to get some of that flavour from the cooking. When you say Opa, he sort of grabs onto your hand with two paws, and rests his head on top of your hand, makes a couple of short, sharp, little squeaking noises, and then looks over to the treehouse, looks back at you.
Yes, we're in the bad books. That means keeping a low profile. You understand?
He looks at you with absent eyes.
Do I feel like he's trying to communicate something?
Roll me an insight, please. $15. I think you get a sense that he is a little bit frightened of Opa at the moment. He senses that he's not in a good mood.
Yep. Keep your head down. That's what's best. He'll hopefully come around again. But stay out of his way and away from his food. You understand?
Kota seems to look you in the eye with some seriousness before sort of shivering off a little bit, as such as to sort of just refresh his body, and scampers away.
I should tell him food's ready. I feel a sense of reluctance, though, to go back up and face him again. So instead, I get one of the flasks of cider and, muttering a few words under my breath, open it and begin to pass it around the group.
I won't ask you to recite necessarily, but those words you mutter under your breath, what do they allude to?
Thanking the ground and thanking the trees and thanking the workers and the birds and the bees.
Beautiful. And with that prayer given, you unfasten that cork and then glug down a good lot of that cider. Roll me a constitution check, please.
That is 17.
Wonderful. Is famously known of Steph's cider that he makes it with his heart more than with his head, and so there is no exact science, and each bottle may have a completely wildly different proof to the next, so you can, there's a certain amount of uncertainty. That's what you're going to get when you open a bottle. This tastes particularly strong, but you can hold it down. It's nice. It's still got a sweet taste to it.
Exactly what I need.
Feels good. And in that moment, rather than feeling overcome by it, you feel warmed and relaxed by it. And people are very happy to see it as you pass it around the table, and other people are also glugging straight from this jar. Others are sort of pouring themselves a little glass that they sip meagerly. And it increases the merriment and perhaps the raucousness of the table over the course of the 5 minutes as this bottle gets passed around.
I think as I drink and I'm passing some to Kota, I have this nagging guilt. I should go check on Opa. I should go check on Opa. Tell me, Kota, tell me to go check on Opa.
Did you say you'd passed him some of the cider?
Just a drink, just a small, from my cupped hand.
He is using his very sort of like long tongue to lick up little spoonfuls. He can almost sort of like turn his tongue into a spoon that laps and then rolls back into his mouth, and he's scooping it very joyously from your hand. He only briefly stops to look up at you as you say Opa, and then look back down as he begins to continue scooping it into his mouth.
Well, that's true, you know, he's tired, he's had a big day, and he's a busy man. We'll check on him in a while. We'll do it in a while. And I kind of convince myself to relax.
And in that case, you do. You relax quite well. As people finish up eating and people continue drinking, those few with instruments begin to find their tune, and something of a folk performance begins to play, and some very jovial music starts permeating this warm atmosphere amidst the candlelight of the orchard. People get up, they begin to dance, begin to sing. They make up words to songs that are just being written as these three people with instruments begin to improvise on the spot. A lot of merriment being had. One of the other workers even encourages Bellamy to stand, who has forgone alcohol for this evening, but even still is able to muster enough confidence to bob up and down to the music as the rest sing loudly and dance passionately.
I think having finished a good half bottle of cider, Nina would be right up there with them, dancing, perhaps too wildly or eccentrically, moves that are not necessarily customary. She's relaxed, and having put thoughts of Steph in a little box in her head, is dancing with everyone, including Bellamy.
Beautiful. Roll me a quick performance check, would you please?
No, 15.
Amazing. You certainly feel the rhythm of the music and the ambience of the night, and you're in tune with the rest of these workers who almost take your lead a little bit as you make certain moves and sing certain melodies that catch everyone's body and ear. And these festivities go on for a good few hours. You can enjoy yourself. And slowly but surely, as the music dies down and bottles of cider reach their bottom, some of these candles begin to get to their ends and fizzle out, and the warm glow gets a little low. Some of these workers begin to peel themselves away and crawl almost back to the barn.
Come on, guys, it's not over yet.
You can see a couple of them sort of still stumbling, wobbling their way back to the barn. It's over. It's over. I
got one more dance in me.
I ain't got no more dance in me. I think I got better in me, to be honest. You're a menace, Nina. You're a menace. I'll see you in the morning, I hope.
Good night, Wilbur.
Yeah, good night, Nina. And he sort of wobbles his way. You can see him just about make his way in through the door of the barn. You are left alone, eventually, to clear the table, clear the plates, with just Bellamy there, who approaches you mid-collection. Well, I'm gonna be heading off, Nina. I'm pretty tired. It's good though. Good.
It was a good night. Yeah, it was good. You're a good dancer, Bellamy, when you get going.
No, I'm not. I was just copying what everybody else did.
Yeah, I think that's what everyone does.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it was really fun. I haven't done anything like that. I was gonna say for a long time, but I've never done anything like that.
Well, I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you came.
Thanks. Yeah, me too. Does this happen every night or just on the first night?
Pretty much every night. Well, this was a bit of a wild one, but...
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look forward to this harvest.
Yeah, and I'll see you in the morning, bright and early.
Yeah, great. I'll, yeah.
You okay getting home?
Oh, yeah. I know my way, I think.
Okay. Oh, thanks again for, coming and helping out and helping with dinner.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure. I learned a lot. I learned so much today. Yeah. Well, yeah, good night.
Bye.
Bye. He sort of awkwardly turns himself away and heads off down the path towards the exit of the orchard.
I think as Bellamy walks away, Nina very quickly sobers up, being very much alone all of a sudden. And that feeling of going from being around so many of her peers and trying to make friends and host, suddenly feeling very alone and feeling that wash of guilt for not calling on Steph. We should check on Steph and bring him some food. He's probably sleeping now. It was good, to have space. I say, talking to Coda, who's probably not listening.
He is quite drunk at this point. Not overly such, dangerously so for a small animal, but quite happily so. And he's just using his long tongue to try and lick up a plate nearby him at the same time as trying to fight off the urge to fall asleep.
I scoop up Kota and put him in the pocket of my apron. I'm hiccuping slightly from the amount of cider and try to scoop up some remnants of food for Steph. I haven't kept anything aside for him, which is all the worse. I bundle stuff together as much as I can and slowly make my way up to Steph's workshop.
Just quickly roll me an investigation check. I think I'll use for the how well you managed to present a meal for Steph.
$18.
Amazing. Despite the fact that there are merely scraps left on the table, you do manage to find quite a few bits of intact food, as such that this plate sort of does look like you set something aside for him. So you can at least be reassured that he'll eat well and think, at least, that you were thinking of him. So, as you head back over towards the tree house with Kota under your arm, as you say, perhaps a little bit unsteady. You've been drinking throughout the evening, have you?
Yeah.
Roll me another constitution check, please.
10.
You are drunk. You are wobbling. It takes concerted concentration to walk in a straight line. I'd say that your faculties of your mind are still there, probably. You can still think fairly straight. The room isn't spinning, but the ground is certainly wobbling. Like you say, hiccuping occasionally. You move towards the treehouse. I will get you to roll also for the fairly dexterous task of operating the elevator.
19.
Surprisingly, perhaps just through sheer force of habit, you quite smoothly make your way up to the platform of the treehouse.
As I'm going up, I'd just like to talk to Kota, who's half asleep in my apron. What do you think of that guy Bellamy?
You seem to have just slightly roused Kota in saying this. He kind of opens up one eye to look up at you, squeaks a little bit. Close.
Yeah, I like him too. It's nice to have a friend, you know? I think we're friends. Hope so. And I head up.
Clunk. The elevator reaches the platform, and you take those few steps from the balcony into the treehouse. As you enter, you notice that the door to Steph's workshop is still closed.
And Steph is not in his hammock.
Roll me an investigation.
It's 4.
No, you can't see him anywhere. There's nowhere to be seen.
I take a deep breath outside of Steph's study, swaying slightly on my feet. Rub my hand under my glasses. My vision is even more blurry than normal. Okay. And I gently tap on the door. Opa, have you fallen asleep?
Quickly and sharply, you hear the voice of your grandfather.
Oh, Nina. No, not at all. Come in.
I open the door and gently move the plate of food towards him.
You open the door, you step into your grandfather's workshop. This place that has always had an atmosphere of the mysterious, of the awe-filled, lined from floor to ceiling, as it were, with his curious botanical experiments and oddities, relics from times gone by. He sits at his work desk, facing away from you, a single lantern lighting his work in front of him on the table, his back still hunched, as I say, facing away, and still appears to be just about tinkering with something. As you enter, as you step close to him, the food, he still doesn't quite acknowledge you. Until suddenly, he seems to make a twist or a turn with one of his tools, drops it to his side. And you hear a deep, satisfied sigh. Ah. Yes. Well, can only try. and he spins himself round in his chair at the same time to meet your eyes. Ha! Hello, Nina. I'm sorry, time has gotten away from me. I must have left you to deal with supper all evening. I didn't even come down for a toast. Yes, I've been very busy. I'm sorry. Thank you for bringing me food. I've also forgotten to eat.
I wasn't sure if you wanted space or if you wanted me to call you for dinner, but I saved some for you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I should probably eat now that I'm done. Funny how it works. I suddenly feel quite hungry, whereas before I couldn't have thought about it. And he picks up a piece of the bread that you've put on the plate for him as he puts the plate down on his table and sort of starts chewing on some bits quite heartily.
I'd like to look over his shoulder to see what he was working on.
You can quite plainly see on the desk there is that familiar necklace you've seen in his drawer before, of a large, oval, polished piece of bright stone with those sedimentary, coloured lines on the inside of it, with a gold trim around the edge now, and that gold chain attached to it so that it hangs as a pendant. And if you were to guess, you would imagine that he'd just finished placing the stone inside of this pendant.
That's a beautiful necklace, Opa. I didn't know you were making again.
Oh, in some ways, I never stopped making. I guess I just never really spoke about it too much. This belonged to your grandmother.
Oh, wow.
Sit, Nina, sit. Now is the time to discuss.
Oh.
And just before, did everything go well this evening? Hope my presence wasn't too much of a miss. I apologise. Is everyone well fed? Are we ready for tomorrow?
Spirits are high, yeah.
Good. Yes, in which case, please, take a seat.
She moves some books and papers from the old chair in the corner and sits down facing him, still slightly reluctant to meet his gaze.
When your Opa greeted you at the door, and up until now he had a smile on his face, greeted you warmly. And as he begins to talk, that smile fades from his face. It's a very serious expression. Nina, when you told me that you had entered the forest earlier today, well, at first, quite honestly, I was upset that you had lied to me, that you had not heeded my word, or trusted that I had asked you to do so for a good reason. But I also realized something in that moment. And that is, you are not a small girl anymore. You were so little when you came to me and first lived here at the orchard. And I think a part of me still felt that you were that little girl who came here without any clue of anything to do with orchards or living or cooking or botany or the world at large. That simply isn't true anymore. I don't give you credit enough for how much you do here. How much you have not only helped me, but have instructed and formed and created yourself. Half the orchard as it stands is your design.
That's not true.
It is. I like to nitpick and I like to come in and fiddle around, but it's just my little way. It's not really had any tangible effect on the orchard. You're the one who does it all.
No, it's all you.
No, it's not. I assure you. I say all of this, Nina, because I think I've kept things from you for a long time. Because I felt I was protecting you. And in reality, I needn't. I think you can protect yourself. I think you have been protecting me and looking after me more so every day. And I cannot be surprised that you would keep things from me when I've kept so much from you. And so it is now time that I tell you exactly what happened to your grandmother and exactly what goes on in the Whispering Forest.